Okay, welcome back to our discussion. And today we will be talking about ordinary and exact simple interests. So, first things first, let's define these two. So, ordinary interests, denoted by I sub O, is computed using the approximate number of days in a year, which is 360 days. So, tandaan nyo yan ha. And then the exact interest is denoted by I sub E is computed using the exact number of days in a year, which is 365 days. Okay, that's the exact interest. And note that if the problem did not indicate whether the interest to be computed is ordinary or exact, then what you need to compute is for the ordinary interests. Kapag those problems which are not indicated lang naman. Okay? So let's have an example. Bongbong plans to deposit an amount of 60,000 pesos for 385 days in ABC Bank at 4.75% simple interest. How much would the interest be if he opts to deposit at ordinary simple interest? And letter B, exact simple interest. Okay, so we are given already the method that we are going to use. So for letter A, again, let us define first our given such that the principal is 60,000 pesos. So tingnan nyo ha, the interest here, the simple interest does not only apply to borrowing, but also for investment. Okay, kaya nga tinawag siyang entrepreneurial mathematics. And time here is in terms of days, which is 385 days, so more than a year. Okay, and the rate of interest is 4.75%, which is equivalent to 0.0475. And what we are asked to do is to find the ordinary simple interest. Okay, so the formula for the ordinary simple interest is just the same. But again, the difference now here is that time is now in terms of days, which is the number of days divided by 360, because we are talking about ordinary simple interests. Okay, by plugging in all the given values, okay, and then using your calculators, we know that the ordinary interest is 3,047.92 pesos. So again, my advice is that you plug everything to your calculator, then doon kayo sa final answer mag round off into two decimal places. Why two decimal places? Because that's in terms of centavos. Okay? So usually naman, wala naman talaga tayong three decimal places. So two decimal places lang sa money natin pinag-uusapan. And for letter B, the same, okay, what is given, but we are now asked to find the exact simple interests. And the formula is quite similar, but here we can see that the denominator on time t is in terms of 365 days already. Okay, so that is the difference between the ordinary and the exact simple interests. Again, we plug in all the defined values so that sorry, mali ako sa notation ha. I will just correct it in your module. So that should be I sub E. Okay? Regardless, still correct pa rin naman yung ating computation. That's the exact, and I am actually mentioning it. The exact simple interest is 3,006 pesos point 16. Okay, therefore, Bongbong will receive an amount of 3,047.92 if he opts to invest the money using the ordinary simple interest, while he will receive 3,006 pesos point 16 centavos if he opts to invest the money using the exact simple interest. Okay? Now, let's talk about the actual and approximate time. We know that there are two ways to obtain the number of days between two calendar dates. And it has been introduced to you already that when we use uh, that the unit of time in terms of days, it could either be ordinary, which is 360, and an exact, which is 365 days. Okay, but in here again we're going to talk about the two different methods or ways how we're going to determine the number of days between two calendar dates, and we call it actual and approximate time. And we define actual time as the true or existing number of days in a given month. Of course, kung halimbawa, January, we know that in January there are 31 days. For February, there are 28 days for the common years, while 29 days if leap year, okay? And so on and so forth. That's actual time. While the approximate time, this is simply assuming that each month has 30 days. Okay? Regardless of the month. Basta sinabi dito that each month, regarding kung leap year yan or common year, each month has 30 days. Okay? And note that if the problem did not specify, okay, the type of time, then the actual time should be used. Okay? Kanina, in the problem, if it's not indicated if ordinary or exact, what you're going to find is the ordinary. This time, if the problem did not specify the type of time, then it is assumed that the actual time should be used. Okay? Let's have an example. So find the actual and approximate time from January 23, 2022 to October 5, 2022. Okay? So what we are going to do is to, for a better visualization, I just laid down here a table where you can see the actual time and the approximate time for each month. Okay? So we know that we are asked, our starting point is January 2023. Okay? So the actual time for January, so we know that's 31 days. Therefore, the actual time is meron na lang remaining na 8. While the approximate time, because we know that it treats every month with 30 days, therefore, meron na lang 7. Okay? And for February, and we know that for February, 28 days for common years and 29 for leap years, which is for every 4 years. Okay? Then the actual time would be 28 because 2003 is not, 2022 rather, is not a leap year. And for the approximate time, it's 30. Okay? For March, we have 31 days. So that's the actual time. And for the approximate time is 30. For April, we know that in April there are 30 days. So the actual time is 30. And the approximate time is 30. For the month of May, we know that there are 31 days. So the actual time is 31. And the approximate time is 30, the same, 30. For the month of June, there are 30 days, so the actual time is 30 and the approximate time is 30. For the month of July, we know that it has 31 days, so the actual time is 31 and the approximate time is 30. For August, we have 31 days and the approximate time is 30. And for the month of September, we know that it has 30 days, so the actual time is 30 and the approximate time is 30. And finally, For October 5, because that is the problem, the actual time is 5 and the approximate time is 5 because that's the endpoint. So the total number of days for the actual time is 255 and the approximate time is 252 days. That is how we determine the actual and the approximate time. Okay, next video, we'll be talking about the interest between dates.